things to do with exams, the timetable, how you will be studying, and most significantly, the Deputy Vice Chancellor taking you through the process of what we call the organogram of the university. Now, I do know that for some reason, he did not completely show you that. He only spoke about the organs, the structures. So at the very top of the university, there is the Chancellor. The Chancellor is normally the man or woman appointed by the president to head the university and to award and confer the degrees and the diplomas. So that person, once he's been appointed by the president, the role mainly is to look at the academic success of the university and also partnerships with other institutions that support their academic excellence. So he is actually the titular head. He is like the president of the university. This is a person you will rarely meet because unless he comes, somebody is entering twice. Unless the chancellor comes to the university, unless the chancellor comes to the university for a visitation or for some reason that he wants to know things in the I don't like echoes. Okay, I think we are corrected now. No. So the chancellor, therefore, being the head, can visit the university and give advice to the minister, cabinet secretary for education, if the university is working well, and if the university is not working well, sometimes he will recommend a visitation that requires an evaluation and maybe a close down of the university by taking of the charter. So that is the person who can advise the cabinet secretary that a charter of the university be withdrawn. After the chancellor, we have the university council, and the university council is chaired by a person appointed again by the cabinet secretary. The cabinet secretary appoints the members to the university council. And as the DVC discussed with you yesterday, the university council has the mandate of overseeing the structural and the policy running of the university. Their role is to approve policies and to be able to see that every employee of the university or every section of the university has the requisite employees to be able to serve the university. And then after that, of course, we have the vice chancellor. The vice chancellor is the next in command because he chairs the day-to-day running of the university. He is in charge, is the CEO of the university. So he chairs the management board, which the DVC spoke about yesterday. He chairs the Senate, which the DVC spoke about yesterday. The management board's role is basically to manage both staff and infrastructural development of the university. Whereas the Senate is the apex, it manages all your academic and disciplinary concerns. So when you come to the university, if you have issues, the Senate will decide whether you are to be admitted, whether you are to be discontinued, whether you are to be suspended. It is the Senate that decides. So you could have a case and it's recommended to the Senate, and then the Senate decides whether to suspend you or to keep you. It is the Senate that will decide that, yes, you are ready to be graduated. You have completed everything that you require. It is the Senate that decides the courses that you do. So any course that you do is dependent on the Senate. But as you can remember, all of you have been watching the CS for education, Professor George Magoa. He has been saying that for universities and colleges, he is not going to give direct dates for opening or reopening of the universities, but that depends on the individual senates, which means if the Kisii University Senate therefore decides we will be coming back on 4th of next month, all that we need to do is the Senate will relay that communication to the Cabinet Secretary. The Cabinet Secretary will send his team to see, for purposes of national satisfaction, that we have met the requirements of the Ministry of Health to have you come back. And once the Ministry of Health says, yes, you are okay, you will come to school. So it's basically, as much as we are under the ministry, the Senate has some autonomy in making decisions that affect your life directly while you are in campus and while you are hoping to graduate from this university. Then after the Vice Chancellor, of course, we spoke about the DVC. We have 2 DVCs in Kisii University. One is Academic Research and Student Affairs. He spoke to you yesterday, Professor Frederick Wanyama. Then the other one is in charge of administration, human resource, and finance. So in other words, he overlooks things that touch on how staff behave while they are in the university. He looks at how finances are used while running university programs, and is also in charge of all administrative units and agenda that the university has to undertake. After that, we come to the registrars. The registrars are number 4 in command. We have, I would say, 3 main divisions or where we have registrars. We have the Registrar Academic Affairs, the person who wrote and admitted you on behalf of the Senate. His role is basically to oversee that academic procedures and programs have been implemented as decided by the Senate. He also acts as the prosecutor. If you are alleged to have committed an offense while you are in the university, your prosecutor will be the Registrar Academic Affairs. He will present you to the disciplinary board. He will give the case while you are being presented to the disciplinary board. And after that, he will give you communication on what is decided by the Senate. That registrar you met yesterday, Dr. Choash Kerongo. We have another registrar in charge of research and extension. The registrar in charge of research and extension, the main role of that division is specifically to enhance research and enhance the connection between the university and the community. Now, you haven't met him. I hope you might see him on Friday. His name is Professor Anakaro Standi. Professor Anakaro Standi is the Registrar Research and Extension. Then we have the Registrar in charge of administration, human resource, and central services. The Registrar in charge of administration, human resource, and central services, that, as you can hear the name, that is the person who monitors basically the conduct of staff, monitors the procedures on how the university is running infrastructurally, and any guests and whatever we have in the university, and also is in charge of ensuring that everything that touches the day-to-day running of the university, including your security, is taken care of. Now, you haven't met her, and probably you might see her on Friday. Her name is Madam Rose Ogata. After that, we have the finance officer. The finance officer is at that category. This is the man who is typically in charge of ensuring that money is allocated and expended with thrift and accountability, as well as transparency. You will rarely encounter this man. You will encounter those who work under him, who work under what we call the student finance. Those are the people who will be approving and signing for you documents as far as finance is concerned. But their head is the man in charge of finance who oversees issues of finance in the entire university. His name is Mr. Charles Maina. Charles Maina. If God willing, on Friday, you may see his face, but he rarely will say much. After that, we have the deans. The deans. Now we have two types of, okay, we have 9 deans in Kisii University, 9. You know, in your former school, you used to have the principal, deputy principal, and HODs. So in this context, we could say that the deans are like HODs, but that is not what they are. In the university setup, they are not HODs. We have the first set of deans are called the deans of schools. The deans of schools are those men and women who had the school or faculty, as you were calling it from yesterday, but now you realize in Kisii we call them schools. So the dean's role is that they are the principal administrators of that school. So they ensure that you have done your exams, that you have been taught, that you have followed everything that is required, and then they present you to the Senate for graduation. So it is your dean who will present you to the Senate that you have met all the requirements of that particular school, and then ask Senate to approve you for graduation. Whenever you do an examination, the dean will meet with his school board and approve those professionally so that you can see your marks before Senate gives you a transcript. But after doing that professional approval, they will present it to the Senate. The dean will present to the Senate and say this student has done these exams and these are the grades, and then the Senate will approve for you to get a transcript. Now, let me just write there and say, we do not give report forms, we give transcripts, and those transcripts are given after every 1 year. We don't give you semestrial results. So if you do your first exam in December, you will do another exam probably in April, then your transcript is likely to be ready by June. So it is after 1 year that you get the transcripts. So that means you must study very well, because if you get an F in the beginning, that F will affect you a lot. You should not get an F at all. So those are the deans of school. Again, the dean of school is like, he can also become a prosecutor if you do an academic offense. If you do an academic offense within your school, the dean will prosecute that. But he also, or she, will share some role with the dean of students, which I'm about to speak now. Now, you have met all the deans of schools yesterday. Those of you who are in law, you met your dean, Dr. Iuri Frederick Nyagaka. Those who are in agriculture, you met your dean, Professor Evans Basweti. Those who are in Sobe, CB, you met your dean, Christopher Ngacho, Professor. Those who are in SPAS, PS, you met your dean, Dr. Robert Obogi. Those who are in SAS, AS, you met your dean, Dr. Margaret Barasa. Those who are in health sciences, HE, you met your dean, Dr. Wycliffe Mogoa. Those who are in CIST, IN, you met your dean, Dr. Frederick Mzee. And those who are in education, ED, you did not meet your dean yesterday because he was held somewhere, but hopefully you will see him on Friday. He is Dr. Enoch Obuba. Enoch Obuba. Now, after those deans, we have another dean called the Dean of Students. And the Dean of Students was the first lady who spoke to you on Monday. Yes, her name is Dr. Gladys Osoro. Dr. Gladys Osoro is your Dean of Students. The role of the Dean of Students is to ensure that your social welfare and generally your well-being in the university is attained. The Dean of Students does not necessarily take you to disciplinary, but sometimes she can be forced to take you. And trust me, if the Dean of Students takes you to disciplinary, there is no defense. You just are going home. The reason is this, because the Dean of Students is your solicitor. The Dean of Students is your defender. The Dean of Students defends the bond of the student and the university. That you came to this university and that you are going to stand of good conduct and that you are going to complete your studies, and then you are going to achieve the target, the goal for which you came to Kisii University. So if that person then finds it that she has to go take you to disciplinary, trust me, you are going home. So the Dean of Students then has a lot of other roles, as she explained on Monday. But again, as you will see on the student handbook, the Dean of Students is in charge of the student government. She's in charge of all the clubs and societies. She's in charge of your mentorship and coordination while you are here. And she's in charge of coordinating all other services that support your education and being here. Of course, after that, you go to the next group of people. It's called the chairs of departments. Chairs of department in schools. We talk about chairs of departments. If you are in SAS, AS, for instance, and you are doing courses that relate to psychology, yesterday you met your COD, Dr. Rose Otieno. If you are doing geography, you met your dean also. If you are doing political science, criminology, and the rest, you met your dean, Dr. Pia Okeche. You know, all those people, most of them you met yesterday. So those are the CODs, the chairs of departments. Then from the other side, administratively, we have what we call the heads of department. Heads of department are the people who are, for instance, somebody who is in charge of catering, that is your meals, that is a HOD. Somebody who is in charge of your hostels, chief hostels officer, chief halls officer. You will meet people like the planning officer, you will meet people like so those are not directly linked to you, but they are here to help and assist you achieve your goals. Now, in a nutshell, that is more or less what happens. And then, of course, you have the student government, who I believe you will be meeting today. The chairman, initially they were called president and cabinet secretaries, but with the change in policy from Parliament, they are not anymore called that way. So his chairman and his team, Kenneth Jemase, I hope he's going to be here, or his people are going to be here, so you will meet them. Another team that you will be meeting today in a short while are the club and association leaders. I will be introducing a number of them to you, because we believe that the best way the Dean of Students and the university can mentor, assist, support, and nurture you is by having you associate with each other and relate with each other, so that you can be able to find support and meaning in what you are doing. We have a chain of clubs and societies that we will be talking to you about in a few minutes. That is after our speaker, the director e-learning. The director e-learning is the man who has developed the Kisii University learning management system. And this is the platform under which your older brothers and sisters have already been taking studies since Corona came. They have been studying from home. Currently, as we speak, they are doing exams online. The School of Law has already completed, CIST is ongoing, and others are going like that. So it is not an easy task, but he is equal to the task. He has managed to do this system, and the system is working very well. Now, remember the DVC said yesterday that the agenda is to try and make education available to everybody. Some people may not manage to come to school because of other reasons. Should we cut them out? No. So maybe we can use both the e-learning and the face-to-face learning and be able to achieve those other goals. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite and bring to us our director e-learning, Dr. Makia. I know he's in right now. I know he's in somewhere. So
he's in. I've found him. I've made him a co-host. I think you can go ahead.
Thank you. So Daktari, you are free. Welcome now. Talk to us and tell us how we will use the LMS. Karibu sana Daktari.
Thank you very much, Brother Francis. I hope you can hear me and everyone else is able to hear me.
Very well, sir.
Thank you. So may I take this first opportunity to...
Daktari, before you proceed, is there a possibility you can switch the light off behind you?
Okay.
Is that a reflection? Yes. Yes. Thank you. That's better. Thank you.
Yeah, so let me take this chance to welcome all our first years to Kisii University. I think this is the first time we are having an encounter with each other, and very specifically to invite you, to welcome you to the Directorate of E-Learning, that in a way will have something to do with what you'll be doing as soon as we commence the teaching and learning and other activities. So Kisii University is indeed a 21st century university, and one of the reasons why we think we are 21st century is because of the level of integration of ICTs in our operations, including the level of infusion of technology in teaching and learning. We, as a university, we are doing very, very well in that regard, and other universities actually learn from us, especially when it comes to e-learning and other aspects of integrating technology in teaching, learning, postgraduate supervision, defenses, and even worship and many other activities that involve lecturers and students and other internal and external stakeholders. So having said that, today, the Deputy Assistant Dean of Students said, Brother Kerongo, I am going to induct you or introduce you to e-learning and what the Directorate of E-Learning does, and the kind of technologies that we have integrated in the university, and also get you started so that you are able to be part of that virtual community of the university. I will start by talking a little bit about the Directorate of E-Learning. This is a unit of the university that coordinates integration of technology in teaching and learning. We provide a number of services that includes learner support services, and learner support services here, I mean providing necessary technical support to students, ensuring that students have access to the e-learning resources that are available in the university, ensuring that you do not have challenges with login credentials, and also building your capacity so that you are in a position to maximally take advantage of those resources that are at your disposal. Other than learner support services, we have instructional design related services. In this regard, we support lecturers to continuously integrate emerging tools and technologies to make learning and teaching better and better. And we do the same to students, so that if there are particular subjects that may be a bit difficult to understand or to be delivered online, we then continuously integrate relevant tools so that you have the best experience. So we also have the aspect of infrastructure. E-learning involves ICT systems, and this we also coordinate and ensure that we have systems that work optimally, that also enable learners and other lecturers and other internal and external stakeholders to have a good experience accessing resources that are hosted in those systems. So of course, there are other services that the Directorate of E-Learning offers, but what is of interest to you, especially at this point in time, is those three that touch on the systems that we have put together, and providing technical support to you, and also instructional design support to instructors or tutors as well as students. So we have the Directorate is organized around those operational units, And the deputy director is not here with me, but you will soon have a chance to interact with him. He's called Mr. Gordon Ouma. We have other members of staff under instructional design. That operational unit is led by Mr. Stanley Josek. We have learner support services. That operational unit is headed by Mr. Hilary Simba. We also have technical services. That unit is headed by the technical team lead is Mr. Dominic Mukaya. So I will provide more details, especially on learner support services, so that you understand how the different channels of communication that we have, support channels that we have put in place, so that you are able to appreciate and also know how to seek assistance whenever you need any kind of assistance. So before I delve more on that, I will give you a brief overview of what e-learning is and how that is contextualized in the university. You have yesterday, and you had a session with the deans and departments, and I think you have a picture now of what you are coming to do in the university and the different units that exist in the university to enable you, learn and also engage with fellow students and your lecturers. So e-learning comes on board to support nearly all the units of the university in the sense that whatever you are coming to do, whatever you have been enlightened about that involves you, in a way, it has something to do with the virtual space. Because things are really changing around us, and because of the pandemic that we have found ourselves in right now, reliance on ICT infrastructure, right, has grown significantly, and that means that most of what we are able to do in the physical environment, some of that can be done in the virtual environment. It may not be 100%, but a part of it can be done in the virtual space or online, if you like. And that's how we come in. So that includes, the actual learning and any other activity that you will be engaged in as a student. So virtual space is an extension of physical space. Okay, what you're able to do on campus or off campus, part of it you can be able to do online. And if it relates to learning, then that's what we call e-learning. But it has evolved to even touch on other aspects of learning that are not, just about delivery of content or, accessing content or using the content. So as e-learning, we help to assist you exploit virtual space, which is an extension of the physical space. You understand that right now, most of us have access to devices, most of which are internet ready. And if you look at how we do things now, you realize that nearly everything that you want to do, part of it you can do online. Okay, that includes entertaining yourself, right? Socializing. We have, we have digital communities. You have, with cross-platform mobile instant messaging solutions, you have WhatsApp groups. Okay, and of course, that has even been central in our interaction. Some of you, we have never met face to face, but in a way, you know, there is someone called Dr. Atemo, you know, there is Edgar, and so on and so forth. This is because of us exploiting virtual space, where time and physical location is really not a problem. So our lives have changed, the way we entertain ourselves, the way we do business, the way we worship, the way we the way we bank, and so on and so forth. So that scenario has found itself into the 21st century universities. Okay, so if we can be able to shop online, if we can be able to have fun online, if we're able to socialize online, if we're able to bank online, if we're able to mourn, other people are saying you can mourn online. So then it means that a number of other activities that we shall be undertaking within campus, all right, can also be extended online. And that is how we come in as a directorate of e-learning. And therefore you see that in a way we cut across. We have something to do with the departments, we have something to do with the schools, we have something to do with the many other units of the university that provides certain services to you. But e-learning particularly focuses on teaching and learning, the academic activities around teaching and learning. So in a typical setup, like in our university, some of the things that you must recognize as far as e-learning is concerned is the e-learning technology, the people, content, the environment, processes, and you know, quality aspects. Okay, and then I will touch on those aspects because they are critical for you to understand, and in a way you will be required to align yourselves with the expectations of the university with respect to these aspects. So e-learning technology, for instance, is about the infrastructure that has been organized for you to utilize in order for you to exploit virtual space, or in order for you to get services that are offered within the virtual space. And from our side, we have the learning management system. The learning management system is one of our most useful resources. Then we have our web conferencing system, and we have our examination system. So these three infrastructures are the key systems that you shall utilize when it comes to e-learning. Our learning management system, or LMS, our web conference system, which is also integrated with the learning management system but can only be accessed separately, and also the examination system. The examination system is for exams, learning system is for learning, a web conferencing system is for live sessions. Okay, so that is on the side of the university. On your part, when it comes to technology, for you to interact with those systems, you also require something, and this is a device. And because our systems are web-based, it means that you need an internet-ready device to access resources. And these resources, we shall, in due course, I will tell you what some of these resources are. But just to give an example, these resources can be a note that you want to access that have been posted to you by your lecturers. For you to access them, because they are within our systems, all right, you need to have a device, and such a device must be internet ready, and it must be connected. You must have a means of connecting to the internet. Okay, and so if you have your device and our systems have the resources that you need, then you are good to go, and you can therefore engage with others in virtual space to get services that you are supposed to get in that virtual space. So technology, we have our learning management system, we have our web conferencing system, and we have our examination system. And for you to access any of the three systems, all right, for learning, you need an internet-ready device, okay? Yeah, this can be a mobile phone, but for exams, because of the nature of that activity, you are required to have a laptop of certain, features. But you shall when you get there, you'll be, you'll get more information on what you need. But for learning and for accessing web conferencing system and other things, then all you need is a smartphone. You need a mobile device that is internet ready, and you have bundles. Then you'll be able to access those systems. In terms of people, but I have not exhausted about technology because that is quite a huge subject, and within the learning management system, for instance, we have hundreds and hundreds of small pieces of softwares that do certain particular things. All right. So the learning management system is basically a system that makes it possible for you to learn online. And it incorporates a number of tools because learning can take different forms. Delivery of content to you in form of documents is one way. The lecturer can make available notes in PDF, in Word, and whatever version, and then you can access and read. The lecturer can want to have a live session like we are doing right now. I can see my students, if I assume this is a classroom setup. I can see Mr. Wanjala Eugene, I can see Biano Ching, I can see Maureen, I can see Adeline Mora, and here is your lecturer in this particular scenario, Dr. Cyprian, delivering a lecture on e-learning. So this is one way that, content can be delivered to a student. So, and therefore the tool for doing that will be different from the tool for delivering content to you. If you are learning mathematics, a different tool will be used because you need to pick symbols, you need to organize a statement as an equation, and so on and so forth. If you need to chat, like to engage with your lecturer, there is a chat tool for that. If you want to discuss a particular topic, like you want to discuss about a particular aspect of the course, then there is a tool for just enabling you discuss a particular topic. And when you exhaust it, you can start another topic and discuss. So if you want to refer to the discussion on a particular topic, you can go back and interact with the content that was generated by participants in that discussion. So we have discussion forums, which is also a tool for learning. We have tools for teaching programming. Some of you did computer science in high school, and you know a bit of Java, you know a bit of the Visual Basic and the like. We have specific tools because programming is unique. It is not like mathematics. It's not like other courses. So we have tools for that. We have tools for socializing within the platform, all right? Within the learning management system, because that is part of learning, group-based learning. We have tools for to enable you deliver your assignment after you have been given a task. That is a separate tool. We have a tool for marking on the side of the lecturer, and so on and so forth. So basically, we have very many little tools that are integrated in the learning management system to enable you to learn, or for the course to be delivered through the learning management system. Okay, so and occasionally, you may also be required to upgrade your device a bit to accommodate certain unique tools. But we cannot exhaust the discussion on technology. For now, what you need to understand is Kisii University has the finest tools, the finest systems to enable you learn. And shortly, I will I will share with you on how to start accessing our systems so that you immediately become part of the virtual community. That was the learning management system. I was trying to open it up a little to unpack it a little bit more. Then we have the web conferencing system that is for meetings. Some of you yesterday had meetings at departmental level and at school level. Within the learning management system, within the web conferencing system. So that is part, meetings is part of learning. You can meet to agree on one or two things. You can meet to be guided on how to access certain online content. You can meet with your lecturer, to discuss on how you're supposed to do your projects and so many other things. So the web conferencing system serves that part, and it is actually integrated in the learning management system, so that even within the learning management system, you can have the kind of meeting we are having right now. And so I think you get that picture. But with the time, we are going to induct you more on exactly what you need to do. But most of what you need to do when it comes to taking part in academic related meetings, you have already encountered that through the orientation that you have been having. The last one I said of the examination system, just to unpack it a little bit more, that is for exams, but you can also do invigilated continuous assessment exams on that platform. Very much like the learning management system, except that it has additional tools for proctoring or for invigilation. So again, that has something to do with what I said earlier about incorporating a variety of tools to accommodate diversity of activities that you will get engaged in. So enough of that for now about technology. In summary, the university has infrastructure, the three systems I have talked about. As a student, for you to access those resources, you need something. You need a smartphone or a laptop that is connected to internet, and that's okay. Once you have that, you are good to go, okay? Our systems are web-based, and you can access them outside the university from the comfort of your bed or from within the university, wherever you are. So you must not think that maybe you need very sophisticated devices to access our systems or to be part of for e-learning. No, you just need an ordinary laptop and a smartphone. And then through your browser, you can be able to access the system. But of course, we'll have to give you login credentials for you to be able to gain access to the system and make use of whatever content or other service that you require. The other thing I would like to mention with respect to e-learning is people. E-learning is not done in a way that is haphazard. It is a very organized, system, and so people are involved. So, for instance, if you have you are supposed to take a particular unit, you have to know who is teaching you that unit, whether it is online, whether it is face-to-face. E-learning is just a mode of course delivery. Okay, so people, the information that you have been getting about learning and your relationship with your department and the dean and so on and so forth, and even what Brother Francis was talking about a short while ago about, rules and regulations and making mistakes and disciplinary and so on and so forth. All those parties who are involved are still involved in e-learning. So you must not picture e-learning as being separate thing from what you understand about the university. It's just infused in systems. Okay, and this is very important for us to appreciate. It is very, very important. So when you are expected to learn online and you are given a deadline to submit your work, then that expectation is just like face to face, because this is a lecturer who is talking to you, even if it is online. And so it will be very exciting for you to learn online. It will give you plenty of flexibility. It will allow you to do a lot of things, at your own time and pace, without moving and so on and so forth. But the people who are involved still continue to play their part, and the expectations they have of you, will be required to be met. So if it is a course you are doing and it is being taught by so and so, so you must be able to enjoy the flexibility that e-learning presents, but also understand that the people behind those processes and the requirements that have been defined for you are there too, so that you enjoy e-learning and also have a good relationship with those people that are behind the curtain. Okay, because technology now comes between you and that person, but you remain connected. But that element introduces flexibility, all right, to you. Is then you have a better learning experience. You can do whatever you're doing from the comfort of your bed. All right, you can do whatever you want to do on the road. If it is an assignment and it was ready and you didn't submit, you can just sit under a tree and post your answer. So that is the flexibility that we have allowed our students through e-learning in this 21st century university. So that flexibility, however, is guided by the expectations of people that are delivering those services to us. If it is an online meeting, you enjoy the flexibility of having that meeting from wherever you are, but you join with the rest at the required time and engage, and you can take notes and do whatever you have been asked to do through that meeting, and so on and so forth. Then there is the aspect of quality assurance. Again, it has something to do with what we have talked about. So these other units of the university that ensure that everything is done well, the dean, the COD will follow up and make sure that you are having a good experience as a student. And there are channels for you to then present an issue that you are having if technology is constraining you from achieving what you want to achieve. So those mechanisms are in place, and you can always reach out to the relevant persons, because as I said, e-learning cuts across. You can always reach out to the relevant persons, so that you are able to get exactly that service that you're supposed to get on virtual space. Or physical space. Whatever you get on virtual space should be equal to the service that you get on the physical space. So in overall, this is going to be a very good experience for you, and the blended learning, physical and virtual, will introduce a lot of very good things for you. It will help you cut down on cost. Sometimes you will not need to move. You will not need to travel. You not need to be in a particular place. You will not need to do something at a particular time. You can do it at your own pace, at your own time, as long as you're able to complete it within the prescribed time. So that is what you are going to enjoy when it comes to e-learning. And as I said, we are one of the best in that particular aspect in this country, and so you'll have a very good experience. So the other thing I would like now to say, to talk about is about also the content that you are accessing. Just a quick brief. Content is like the resource that you get, okay? And it can be through e-learning. That can be in form of notes, it can be books, it can be videos, it can be audio recordings, it can be live sessions like what we have. It can also be activities like assignments, discussions. It can also be continuous assessments and charts and quizzes and so on and so forth. But those you will be made to understand as you carry on. You will know what is expected of you as you start, what you need to take part in, how you need to take part in, and sometimes you'll be given a link, or you may be given directions on how to access that resource within the systems. So all that, whatever you're able to benefit, to benefit from within the systems, is what we generally refer to as content, right? It can be live, it can be stored, but whichever form it is, all that is what we refer to as content. It can be within a course you are undertaking. It can be within some unit within the university that needs you to benefit from a particular resource or activity that may not be related to e-learning, or rather to teaching and learning, but all that constitutes content. And I want to assure you that our content is quality because of the systems we have in place, the content that is generated, and the people behind the content that is delivered to you will always be of good quality. And for you to appreciate that content, as I said, you need the right device. In the event that a particular device needs to be upgraded with a particular software, that advice or access to such tools will be facilitated by the Directorate of E-Learning. I think that's fine up to that point. I will now give you some description of learner support services in a bit more detail, because that is critical, especially at this point. It's important for you to understand how from this meeting, how to proceed and be able to be assisted to be part of the Kisii University virtual community with respect to e-learning. Of course, we have other forms of virtual community, but specifically when it comes to e-learning, then you are organized as you have already learned under department, under school, and so on and so forth. So when you become part of that, it's important for you to know how to reach out to the Directorate of E-Learning and get necessary support, how to access the learning management system, how to access a course within your department, and so on and so forth. How to share with the people that who are taking the same course as you, and so on and so forth. Find out whether a particular class has been suspended or a particular deadline has been changed, and that kind of a thing. So so all right, sorry, I had to step out of the meeting a little bit to deliver some documents to someone who came to the office. Yeah, so just before I talk about learner support services, I wanted to mention that other than teaching, learning, holding meetings that are related to academics, the learning management systems or our systems also provide for virtual spaces for worship, and so you can be able to access people that you worship together with within the learning management system, within this infrastructure. And over the weekend, when not much learning and teaching is taking place, that is in real time, those spaces can also help you meet and engage. Even if you have physical meetings, you can also follow up, also on some of those aspects of on the systems. So having said that, let me talk about our learner support system. Our learner support system takes many forms. The first one is physical support. When you walk to the Directorate of E-Learning and with a query, and we address it and we register that query and how we have addressed it. So that is one way that we provide learner support services or services to our learner support services to our students. Secondly, we have learner support system when you log into the learning management system. Shortly, I will share with you how to access. But the moment you land on the landing page of the learning management system, there's a chat tool that welcomes you. And you can always post a query there. Instead of walking physically to the Directorate of E-Learning, that is housed at Sakawa block and ICT village. At the moment, when you come physically to Kisii University, we have a dedicated office for learner support services. Without having to physically walk there, you can go to the learning management system and post your query. And once you have posted your query, it will be addressed immediately. We have a dedicated learner support assistant who addresses all your queries as they come. Occasionally, the queries can be overwhelming, but we always try to resolve all the queries within the shortest time possible. And worst case, it never goes to the next day, because we understand that some matters can be very urgent. You want to resolve an issue with your password so that you can access the next class in a few minutes. Okay, so we recognize that urgency and we strive to sort that out as quickly as you post your query. Thirdly, we have emails. We have emails for learner support services. Again, at the end of this session, we will circulate a list of emails for all schools. So we have 8 emails. Like for law, we have slow.elearning@kisiiuniversity.ac.ke, sis.elearning@kisiiuniversity.ac.ke. We have SPARS, we have for SOBE, and all the 8 schools that we have. Because sometimes you might want to post a query for which there is an attachment, so that you can use that channel. Other than that, we also have our presence in WhatsApp groups. So in your school WhatsApp groups, we shall be present, so that if there are any queries, because most of the queries that you raise emanate from your discussions on academic activities within the school and so on and so forth. So the learner support assistants will be present in each one of those WhatsApp groups, because e-learning is really going to be at the heart of what you are going to do. Even if you are at physically at main campus, part of your learning you will do online, because our powerful e-learning infrastructure can help in taking care of certain units. So that is another channel through which we are able to provide learner support services. The other one is our Facebook page and also Twitter. So those channels also are dedicated for e-learning stuff. So we shall sign you up to them so that you are able to engage with others. Sometimes even before you post a question, someone else has posted a question. So even without asking a question, it helps you to be part of such systems, because you learn before you have that need to learn. So those are the channels that we have for directing inquiries and any form of need to the Directorate of e-learning. But as I said earlier, e-learning permits or gets infused into all units of the university. So it's all right to also channel your issues through others. Like if you have an issue, you can channel it and it touches on a course you are doing. You can channel that to us, but also the course lecturer who's handling that course may also channel a student's issue to the directorate. Like if all of you are having challenges with your login, or some of you have not joined a particular class, or there is something you need technical assistance so that a deadline for an assignment is changed. So we can also receive that through your course lecturer, or from your dean, or from your COD, or from Mr. Edgar, or from any other member of the university that in a way has something to do with that challenge that you are experiencing. So just in summary, you can walk to the Directorate of e-learning physically. We have a dedicated learner support services office, and you will always find Mr. Hilary Simba seated there to address your issues. You can go to the learning management system. We have a chat tool there, right when on the landing page. You can post your query there. Mr. Chalo Mwangangi is seated behind the curtain all the time to address your issues. You can you can send an email to your school e-learning emails, like cis.elearning@kisuniversity.ac.ke, and your issue will be resolved. You can utilize our social pages, Facebook and Twitter, if you also need to learn or post something and you need some kind of assistance, right? Yeah. And lastly, you can direct your queries through whoever or any other officer of the university that has something to do with that inquiry. If it is your course lecturer and you don't seem to be viewing a particular activity that has been administered to you, you can channel your issue through the lecturer, and the lecturer will contact us and we will resolve that issue. Because some issue may be, you may think it is an issue that relates to you, but it may be an issue of the whole class or all the participants of that particular course. So it's very important for you to understand those channels of learner support services. Okay. Maybe some caution is if you use, and then of course you can always reach out to the director if a particular issue is taking too long to be resolved. You can always obtain the mobile number of the director or the deputy director, Mr. Gordon, and call us so that we can check. Maybe you are not providing enough information, and so that issue cannot be resolved. And by the way, whenever you post an inquiry, provide you identify yourself. Sometimes a student says, oh, I can log into the system, but they forget to say who they are. So we get the inquiry, and all we know is someone is having a problem, but we have no way of helping because you have not provided your registration number. But of course, we shall guide you. In due course, you will understand exactly how to articulate your issue. But what I'm saying at this point in time is you can always post your inquiry, and we'll be able to analyze it and work on it, and you'll be comfortable. So always identify yourself, provide your email address, and provide your registration number, whatever inquiry it is, so that when we go to the system, we know whose issue we are resolving. Secondly, some word of caution is do not make inquiries through the same channel more than once. Because like if you request for resetting a password, we can reset it, and then someone else again handles the same, he resets again, kumbe you had changed your password, so now you cannot log in because someone else has reset it. But again, those are little things that you will just get to understand. And if we are able to resolve your issues as I've promised on time, then such challenges will definitely not be there. And as I said, if your issue is not being resolved, you can get hold of the contact of the Deputy Director, Mr. Gordon, or myself. Call me, and I'll be able to intervene. But we have a very elaborate support system at Kisii University, and that is part of the reason why we have been very successful more than other universities. Because when we say that we have been very successful with e-learning and our students are doing well, it means that we are on board with them. It means that the technical support is being done very well. And it means that capacity building is also being done very well, because we cannot operate without getting all the participants on board. Otherwise, as a student will not be able to learn, a student will not be able to take an exam or an assessment. Now, the other issue I would like just to mention a little bit now is on how to access our e-learning infrastructure, our systems. For what involves the students is the learning management system, the examination system. But for the web conferencing system, that is for the university, you can be invited into a meeting, but you may not be able to initiate meetings. Maybe particular people who will be privileged, like maybe student leaders and class reps, those we may you are able to leverage the web conferencing system to engage. But the learning management system is mandatory for every student who is involved in e-learning to have an account. And as we are speaking, all the first year students have an account, and you can therefore be able to log in right away and be part of the community within the learning management system. How do you log in to the learning management system? For you to log in into the learning management system, you need to have an account. And all of us right now have accounts. So how do you log in? You need to locate our learning management system and provide the login credentials. How do you locate the learning management system? If you go to the Google search engine and type Kisii University e-learning portal, you'll get the page. Click on it and you'll be able to find the login page. Also, you can go to elearning.kisiiuniversity.ac.ke. That will also take you to the e-learning portal, all right, where you provide your login credentials. I will share with you shortly after this meeting just 2 steps on how to log in. You locate our learning management system on the World Wide Web, you provide the login credentials, and you are in. Once you are in, on the left, you can be able to see the courses that you're supposed to undertake. So for now, just log in and play around with your profile. Change your photo, write about yourself, and so on and so on. So that when your friend locates you on the learning management system, they can see you, they can see your photo, but put their nice photos, nice in quotes, photos that you know, are appropriate for a university student. Okay. Yeah, so don't take a photo with your head facing the other side, okay? And it's only the ear that can be seen. That might not be very okay. Put an appropriate photo, just passport photo. The rest of you can do away with for now, maybe from chest up, okay? So that's good for identification, so that when you your lecturer is reviewing your work, they can develop an identity. When you meet face to face, and even in the virtual community, they are able to know that this is so and so. That is the essence, because even in class, the lecturer will be able to see you and know that you are a particular student. So online also, we want to maintain our identity so that the lecturers are able to know who we are, and therefore know when you are having a problem, they can know that this is that particular student. He seems to be having a problem with this particular aspect of the course, and so they can identify that they need to talk to you, maybe provide you with more resources so that you can be like the rest, or maybe give you some direction on where you are losing it. So log in straight away after this session. You are part of Kisii University. You have accounts. Log in and start navigating and playing around with your profile and so on and so forth. Of course, they are going. If you change your course to another one, we shall of course also change that. And either suspend your account and give you another one, or they remove your account from the system. But we will keep track of your activity on the learning management system. So whatever you do on the learning management system, just know that the footprint remains. So do not be rude. Do not shout at your lecturers by writing in capital letters and you know, using language that is inappropriate, because that will remain with the university forever and ever. Even when you come to pick your certificate, we will know that at some point you insulted your classmate. So even online, let's be calm people and good people, and that will be manifested in the kind of messages we share, the kind of interactions we have, and so on and so forth. So you shall be permitted to log in. And for you to log in, you just need to locate the e-learning portal on the World Wide Web. We'll share a link, Kisii University, the Kisii University e-learning portal. You can even search it on the Google search engine. You can use the Google search engine to locate it. Once you are there, you provide your credentials, and there you are. Once you are in, begin by playing around with your profile, changing your photo, writing about yourself, and so on and so forth. When you start learning, on the left side, you'll be able to locate those courses that are being offered online. If others are being offered face-to-face and partly online, you can undertake the face-to-face classes, and also maybe undertake some aspects online. So you will be able to locate that as you move on. But it's a pretty it's a very well-developed system, so it's very user-friendly. You can navigate, you can find your way around it very fast. So I think that is okay. For you to log into the learning management system, you can use your registration number as the username, and also registration number as the password. But where there is password, where you are supplying the password, you start with a capital letter. As you are advised, of course, your registration number also gives you identity of your school, so you can know who else within the learning management system is likely to be in your school by just looking at their admission numbers. So at any given time, you can log into the learning management system, you can see who else is online, and you can chat with them. It's as easy as that. When you log in on the side, you can see your classmates, and you can know whether they are online or offline. So you can poke them and start a conversation on what is going on. I think I have taken a lot of time. I can see Brother Francis is right in front of me. I hope that the discussion we have had, of course, we will go on. The essence of today's session is to induct you to, the e-learning, but we will continue working with you until you maximally tap into the services of the university that are provided on virtual space that touch on e-learning. May I now hand over this to Brother Francis or Edgar? I think in the interest of time, I will stop at that point.
Well, thank you very much, Bwana Director. Let's give our director that clap that we were giving yesterday. So you can do it virtually or physically. I have already done mine virtually. So yes, thank you for those who are doing it. And something that director has said, remember your digital signature follows you long after. It's not only about the university, it's also about your workplace. When you go out there, people will look at what you did online, and it will affect your prospects about your job. It will affect how people look at you and who you become in the society. Thank you very much, Bwana Director. And you all know now that if you can be able to go to elearning.kisiiuniversity.ac.ke or on the World Web, Kisii University e-learning portal, you will be able to log in. Login is so easy. Once you are at login, put your index number as, not index, sorry, your registration number as your username, and then as a password, use the same registration number, but the first letter in your registration, if you are AS or PS or CB, the first letter should be in capital, same details, and you will be inside, and you will find yourself in that place where you're supposed to be. Thank you very much. As the director says, for the interest of time, we are going to rush a bit. At 11:20, we have an important guest all the way from South Korea who is going to be speaking to you. So we will do the next step very, very quickly. And this is the step where you are meeting the student government. Our chairman, Kenneth Chemase, is in this hall somewhere. Edgar, please, if you can trace where Ken is, so that he will be okay to speak. Kenneth Chemase leads a team of 23 young men and women who have been elected to lead the student interests. And those interests are found within the university charter and related things. So he will be talking to us briefly and introduce his team in such a way that you all are able to find meaning and sense of what the government looks like. So, Kenneth Chemase, if you can hear me.
Yes, brother, I can hear you.
Yes, that is our president, that is our chairman, that is your chairman for the year 2019-2020. You are joining in 2020, so he's still your chair. So chairman, please speak to your students and let them know who you are and how things go.
Thank you so much, brother. Assistant Dean of Students, members of staff, social leaders, club leaders, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I want to believe that my voice is clear and everyone can hear me. Is that so, brother?
Yes, that's true.
Thank you so much. So first, my name is Kenneth Chemase. I'm the students president. that is your president first years, from the School of Arts and Social Science, that is us, coming all the way from county number 028. For those who know county number 028, that is where I come from. So I first want to congratulate all of you for working hard way back in high school and choosing to be part of Kisii University. Congratulations so much in a very special way. And in a very, 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 very special way, I want to say thank you so much for choosing Kisii University. Thank you so much for working very hard to make sure that you are actually training members who are working hard to be the university students. And first, I would start by saying that you are entering into an environment where self-control and independence is the key. And I, as your chair, I want to declare you today as the bona fide members of the Kisusa Association. That is the Kisii University Students Association. And today, I declare you to be comrades of Kisii University. I want to believe that now you are a comrade. You will have to know some 1, 2, 3 things about comradeship. That you have to know that a comrade is always right. That is rule number 1. Rule number 2, that a comrade is never wrong. Rule number 3, you apply the rule number 1 and rule number 2. So, my fellow students, today, a number of our leaders, they are not in here with us. Some of them are committed somewhere. Some of them have attended funerals. And I want to apologize on their behalf, those who are not going to be here with us. And in the Kisusa, it is comprised of 2 houses. We have the executive, that is the student council, and we have the Congress. So Congress is made up of 8 congressmen and ladies from different 8 schools that we have. And yes, as you can see their names there. Apologies, I'll just read the names for you. And yes, I think you can see it in your screens. I might not read it for you. You just see them from your screens. But I'll just have to mention some few things about the Kisusa. There are one of the main core mandates of the Kisusa is actually to represent students in all the university organs. That is the championing for the rights of students. Another main core mandate of the Kisusa is actually to foster the spirit of togetherness and understanding and good relationship that is between the management, between the students and the community at large. And yes, my first years, I just want to encourage you today that as you are joining the Kisii University fraternity, I want to advise you today that if you are going to start with God, definitely you are going to have a productive and a prosperous stay in Kisii. And definitely you'll have to finish in peace and not in pieces. And you are actually going to graduate with 2 degrees. You know what I mean. So we are actually at a point in time that we need to leverage technology. We need to take advantage of the technology. And that's why today we are meeting one-on-one here using the technology. That is, we are making meetings online. We are meeting you online. We are having orientation online. People are learning online. What does that mean? I am trying to encourage you that please embrace technology, embrace online learning. That is the direction that the whole world is taking. And us, as a world-class university, we have also to position ourselves to make sure that we are not being left behind as the world is moving. And you are actually at a point, at a momentous time in your life. It is a new season and a new dawn that you have to redefine your future, that you have to shape your future. A time that you have to identify your talents. Actually, Kisii University is one of the growing universities in Kenya, one of the best universities actually. This is the 21st century university. And this is the place that is going to nurture you. This is the place that is going to nurture you to be a global citizen. That is where you will be working everywhere in this world. You can be accepted everywhere. You'll be a global citizen. And that is the core mandate of the Kisii University. And I want you today to feel proud. Be proud that actually you have joined one of the best universities in Kenya. And actually, numbers don't lie. Numbers speak for itself. Numbers speak volumes. As all of you are aware, you know that we are among the top 3 universities in Kenya who are given the highest number of first years. What does that tell you? That tells you that you are not in the wrong place. You are in the right place, and we celebrate you. And once again, in a very, very special place, in a very, very special way, I want to say thank you so much for choosing to be in Kisii University, where we embrace diversity. So, my fellow first years, I would like to tell you just one thing that as you are joining, that is Kisii, you actually know what you want and where you want to be. And Kisii is a very, very, very good place for you to nurture your talents, to identify and work for your future. And as one of the bona fide member of the Kisii University, make sure that when you are in Kisii, don't just come and just be going to class, back to the room, to class, back to the room. That is when we resume to the physical learning. Make sure that you engage in so many diverse activities that we have in the school. If you cannot join the sports, make sure that you are somewhere in CU. Make sure that you join St. Johnston. Make sure that you join Scouts. Make sure that you join student leadership, where I am now. And I want to believe that 2-3 years down the line, we will have one of you and several of you being in student council. Make sure that you are doing something apart from the classwork. We are in a world that talents are even paying more than the studies. They are paying more than education. And I want to believe that you are going to exactly embrace that one. As you are aware, our school was actually our school with several clubs that is ranging from scouting, which was ranked among the best in Africa. We have the tax society, which was among the best in Kenya. We have the law school, which was the best in Kenya. Now we have the medical school, which is also the best in Kenya. So I want to tell you that you are not in the wrong place. You are in the right place. So feel proud to be a member of Kisii University. We've been longing to meet you physically, but unfortunately, Corona could not allow us to do it. But all in all, life must continue. And that's why today we are doing orientation online. But we want to believe in 1 week, in 1 month, 2-3 weeks ahead, we might have a chance to meet physically. And after this point, you will meet with your student leaders. That is from different schools. Those from the School of Law, you will meet with your congressman from law. Those from CIST, you will meet with your leaders, and you will interact at the departmental level. Yes, first years at this point, I want to actually say thank you for finding time to make sure that you join this meeting. And I want to wish you a prosperous and a very productive stay in Kisii and a good stay as you start your continuum journey of academia. Thank you so much. I am not sure whether the Speaker of the Congress is in here, because I have received so many apologies from student leaders, and I would not introduce them because they are not in. I just want to know if Speaker can hear me, the Speaker of the Congress, if you are in. Brother Francis, help me to identify whether the Speaker of the Congress is in, so that
Chair, if they're in, can you tell them to raise their hand in Zoom? Because I don't know which name they've come in with.
Actually,
yes,
I have run through the system and I don't think he's in, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much, brother. So at this point, on behalf of the Congress, I have seen Congress from, we have Congress from Kericho, I've seen Congress lady from Eldoret. But on behalf of all the Student Council, I want to welcome the spokesperson of the Student Council, Student Governing Council, that is the SG Charles Okoth. Confirm to me, brother, if he's in.
No, he's not. He's not
okay,
in.
thank you. Okay, thank you. Kindly first years receive sincere apologies from the leaders who are not in. Some of them are not online currently, but I'm assuring you that in 1 month or 2 months time, you will have to meet together, you will engage, and you will actually have to share a lot. Otherwise, thank you so much. Have a good stay in Kisii, and all the best as you pursue your continuum journey of academia. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you. Let's give our chair that clap of ours to muonesha kwamba we are grateful. Yes, those of us who are at home and don't know how to use the system, thank you for doing that. That is your president. You will aspire to join that form of leadership. Leadership is formed while you are in university, while you are with your colleagues, because while you are with your colleagues, you challenge your mind to high levels and you are able to achieve more as the things go by. Leaders who are already in this group, and also I have a very special, two special guests in this room today. And so I want to indulge and request patience from my club and association leaders that we will take first of all our guests who will share with us in about 30 minutes of certain insights, especially as we begin university life, how our mindset needs to readjust, how we need to challenge ourselves, need to change, and how we need to cohesively coordinate our lives so that we can make the best time that God has given us in this university. A guest that we are going to introduce is the chairman of the International Youth Fellowship. International Youth Fellowship is a Christian-based NGO, roots from as far as South Korea, but it's an international community of people who engage young people to be able to develop a mindset for global leadership, a leadership that is value-based, leadership that is focused on service and delivery to people. In Kenya, this group is headed by Reverend Johan Kim, and he's together with us this morning. So is part of his staff. Reverend Johan Kim, the chairperson IYF Kenya, to share with us some insights. And at this time, I want to request you, yes, the recording will be available, but should you get anecdotes you want to put down, feel free to put them down, because your 4 years
Yeah, I think we lost brother for a second there. So we will continue in front and say that you guys, we have a very special guest, as he has initiated, and then take note of what he's going to present. I've personally attended the IYF mindset training, I think in 3 different continents, in Africa, I think in Malaysia. They're all over the globe. And coming to Kisii University, it was impressive to see that they also reached out to us, and it has shaped some of the thinking that I have currently. So listen keenly, take notes, review the video later, and then get some learning and some traction onto it. So at this point, let me invite the IYF chair. Johan, please speak to us this morning.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Nice to meet with all of you. It is my great pleasure and honor to be together with all of you this morning. Yes, in the midst of COVID-19, it has actually, you can look at the COVID-19 situation in a negative way, but I think we can also look at the COVID-19 situation also in a positive way. Is that right? Yeah, because of that COVID-19 today, I can also see all of you and meet with you while I'm in Nairobi. And I think also all of you are at home, different places, but through this technology, it has joined us and put us here together. Actually, when you think about South Korea, even about just a matter of 40, 50 years ago, South Korea was also one of the most poor country around the world. And actually, South Korea, we were never rich, and we had a lot of war, and we were always attacked by China. We were always attacked by Japan. Also, South Korea is a very small country. It's a very small country where now people make fun of South Korea, saying South Korea can fit in Lake Victoria. So that's how small South Korea is. But now, 50 years later, South Korea became one of the richest country and powerful country around the world. Today, I would like to speak about how South Korea was able to be developed so rapidly in just a matter of 50 years and be at the place where we are today. We believe that that is not because we had any possibilities. When you talk about possibilities, South Korea don't have any possibilities because South Korea is a small country and we don't have any underground natural resources. And to the west is a sea, to the east is a sea, to the south is a sea, to the north, our enemy North Korea, and we have no underground natural resources at all. But when you talk about the condition and the situation, South Korea truly did not have any condition and to become one of the best country around the world. But what has changed South Korea is that South Korea, we began to teach about mindset, having a different mindset. Even in order for you to also become a successful person, it is not money that changes the people. It is actually the kind of mindset that you have. What kind of mindset do you possess is actually the one and that decides about your future and also about your life. And so today, I would like to speak about how can you have the strong mindset? How can you have the strong heart? And so that you can also be a successful person. So let me share with you, all of you, a PowerPoint presentation. Everyone, oftentimes as we live our life, we get wounds of the heart and we fall into the social issues and the social problems in our life. Everyone, is there anyone who has ever had an experience of having your heart being wounded? Oftentimes, our heart gets wounded, right? Okay, let us take a look when we get our heart wounded and diseased in our heart. Sometimes we get wounded in our heart throughout our social life. And sometimes, we get, wounded in our heart because of our friends. Sometimes we get our heart also wounded because of somebody that I love. Sometimes, if you are married, I hope you are not married yet, right? But sometimes also in the future, you will also get married too, right? People, they get also wounded because of husband and because of wife. Sometimes also we get wounded in our hearts because of our parents. Like our parents, they divorce, parents' business failed, and also as the children, our heart gets wounded as well. Now, when that wound continues, and that wound is going to turn into a disease of our heart. So what is that then, disease of the heart? Now, disease of the body is the time when the part of your body does not function in the proper manner. There's also the disease of the heart as well. What is the disease of the heart? When our heart does not function in the right manner. So everyone, oftentimes we get our heart wounded and diseased and gets hurt. Why do we have our heart gets hurt? Through other people's words and action, now our heart gets hurt, right? So sometimes, they said, hey, why did you do so bad on your exam? So when we hear such kind of things, it also wounds our heart and hurts our heart, because on my side, you have tried your best. But when your father, mother tells you, why are you doing so bad on your exams and bad in school? Then those kind of words, hurt our heart. Then what do? Then we begin to blame and start to complaining towards that person. And then we also close our heart and we stop the conversation together with that person. And then we start isolating ourselves in our own heart. When that continues, now our heart, from getting our heart being hurt, now that heart turns into a wound of the heart. If you do not come out of the situation and that hurts your heart and it persists, your heart will be wounded. Even when your heart is hurt, that is the time that you need to solve this problem. However, if you don't solve the heart where your heart is hurt, then it's going to continue and it's going to turn into a wound of the heart. And now when that persists, you leave it alone. You don't cure that wound of your heart and it persists, then your heart is going to be diseased. Now, when your heart is diseased, that's the time your heart is also going to fall into depression, and to some people, you are going to have mental disease as well. In some cases, some students and some people, they even commit suicide. Everyone, this is now a superficial cause why our hearts are weak and people are falling into suicide and having the misery of their life. Their heart gets hurt. Next, their heart gets wounded. Next, if you don't solve this problem and it persists, then your heart will be diseased, and in the end also leads you committing suicide. Like I said, now this is only a superficial cause. This is only a cause that is happening outwardly on the surface. But now there is a fundamental cause why this is actually happening. Outwardly on the surface is happening because your heart was hurt because of some people's words and some people's action. And now that hurt which was hurt, now it turns into a wound of the heart, and it turns into the disease of the heart, and your heart start falling into depressions, mental disease, and later on committing suicide. Yes, that was only a superficial cause, but now there is also a fundamental cause. We need to know the fundamental cause so that we can also have the right solution to solve these issues and solve this problem. Then what is the fundamental cause? the fundamental cause of having your heart getting hurt, getting wounded, and getting diseased is actually because your heart is weak. Everyone, if you have a weak heart, then you cannot be a successful person. Even if you have a lot of money, if you have a weak heart, in the end, you are going to get into trouble. You are going to have a lot of problems, difficulties, and suffering, and you cannot have but have a miserable life. In order for us to have a happy life, in order for us to have a successful life, now we need to learn how to change from having the weak heart into the strong heart. Everyone, here on the right-hand side, there's a picture of a brick, right? Yes, if you punch the brick, what happens? Brick is not going to break, right? What is going to break? Your hand is going to break, isn't it? If you punch the brick is not going to break. Instead, your hand is going to break. But now on the left-hand side, and there is a piece of ugali. Everyone, do you like ugali? I also love ugali. Ugali with nyamachoma, with sukuma, with kachumbari, sindio. Yes, now lunchtime is coming close. It makes me hungry. Left-hand side, there's that white thing, and that is ugali. And when you serve with ugali, ugali comes in a shape, right? Sometimes in a round shape, sometimes in a triangular shape. But now if you punch ugali, what happens? Ugali gets smashed, like the picture that you see on the left-hand side. Why does the ugali get smashed? Because ugali is weak, isn't it? That's why when you punch ugali with your fist, then ugali is weak and it gets smashed. However, on the right-hand side, there's a brick. Brick is strong. That's why any other outer force, it comes and smash the brick. Brick is not going to break down because a brick is strong. Everyone, this is also the same situation with our heart as well. Those are people who are having the strong heart like the brick. Now the outer force comes and some kind of difficulties comes, some kind of depression comes, and some kind of a sad situation comes upon your life. Now, because your heart is strong, your heart is not going to break down. However, those are people who are having the weak heart, when the difficulties come, when the stress comes, when the suffering comes, when the sad situation comes, your heart starts breaking down. Why? Because your heart is weak. That's why it is very important to learn, how can I make my heart, which is weak like ugali, to turn them into a strong brick? All right, how do we do that? Now, let us take a look at that fundamental cause, why our heart is weak. Now, the outer force, which is difficulties and the burden. Everyone, now you are in Kisii University. As you are in the university, now you are going to have bigger responsibilities. Is that so? You have bigger responsibilities and you have bigger problems and you have bigger situations and even more work, more stress. And now, as you are also continuously growing up, you are adding up with more responsibilities as well. Now, when those difficulties and the burdens come upon your life, there are those students who are living with that mind to avoid those difficulties and the burden. Now, those students who are living with that mindset, the mindset to avoid the difficulties and the burden. Everyone, as you are in the Kisii University, I hope all of you remove that mindset of having the mind to avoid the difficulties and the burden. As we live our life, it's not only you, all the people around the world, whether you are Kenyan, whether you are Ugandan, whether you are Korean, whether you are Chinese, whether you are American, whichever continent that you live in, all of you, you are going to face some kind of difficulties and the burden in your life. However, it is all about the mindset. How do you set your mindset? There are those people who are having the mindset to avoid the difficulties and the burden. Now you start, avoid the difficulties and burden once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 6, 7, as you continuously live that life of avoiding the difficulties and burdens, now your heart is going to continuously grow weaker and weaker and weaker. Now then, how can you turn your mindset to become a strong mindset? Now, you should change your mindset. You should shift your mindset from the mindset to avoid to mindset to overcome. Everyone, why don't you repeat after me? Mindset to avoid. And then you're changing mindset to overcome. Yes. Just now, I asked you to repeat after me, right? But some students, even to listen to that and to repeat after me is a big difficulty and burden. You understand, right? Yes, everyone to repeat after me, is that difficult? It's not difficult at all, right? But to some students, it's difficult. That's why they don't repeat after me. One more time. Let's change our mindset to even from here to repeat after me. From here, from the small little things, so we should change our mindset. Everyone, Cindy? Cindy? Yes. Repeat after me one more time. Mindset to avoid. Yes. And mindset to overcome. Yes. I saw one student who are having difficulties even to follow, and his name is Paul. Yes, I don't want to say which Paul. I think there are about 20 Pauls here, but there's a student named Paul, and even to follow is difficult. Everyone, there are two different kinds of a mindset. There are those people who are having the mindset to avoid. When the difficulties come, when the burdens come, when the sadness come, there are students who are living with the mindset to avoid those difficulties and burden. And there are students who are having the mindset to overcome the difficulties and the burden. Everyone, those students who are living with the mindset to overcome the difficulties and the burden, their heart grows stronger, stronger, stronger. Let me give you one example, right? One example. Everyone, in 1972, yes, all of us, we were not born during that time, right? In 1972, October 13th, there was a plane. This is a true story that has happened. If you can also watch this movie on YouTube as well. The movie is called Alive, and this movie was made based on the true story. So in October 13, 1972, there was a plane which was carrying the young rugby players. They were about your age, rugby players from Uruguay heading to Chile. There was a competition in Chile. But now as they were going over the Andes Mountain, the airplane crashed into the Andes Mountain. And many people had died, and there were some survivors. When they looked, the airplane crashed on the Andes Mountain, and the altitude was 3,500 meters above sea level. And then the temperature there at that peak of Andes Mountain was minus 20 degrees Celsius. Everyone, have you experienced the minus 20 degrees Celsius? No? Yes. You can think of minus 20 degrees Celsius is like 7 to 8 times more colder than the freezer. Everyone, you have a freezer at home, right? And minus 20 degrees Celsius is about 7 to 8 times more colder than your freezers at home. Imagine living inside the freezer. It's not easy, right? So the top of the mountain, 3,500 meters above sea level, it was minus 20 degrees Celsius. Many people, they were suffering because it was very cold. But not only being cold, now they didn't have enough food for them to survive. Now they were waiting for the rescuers to come and to rescue them. But then the rescuers could not come. They tried to search for these survivors, but the whole Andes Mountain, the big Andes Mountain, it was covered with snow, and it was very difficult to search for them. So 14 days later, the rescue team, and they gave up on searching for them. They gave up on searching for them. So after they heard that news through the radio, they were all disappointed. But now, there was this one survivor who said, although it seems like it's a desperate situation, it is very difficult and burdensome. If we also work together, then we are more than able to go through this. And by that leadership, 16 people have survived in that cold winter top of the mountain for 72 days in the extreme condition in the Andes mountain. How did they survive for 72 days? Everyone, can you survive 72 days with the empty stomach? You can't, right? How did they survive 72 days then? These 16 people, they survived the 72 days by eating the human body. Yes, 16 people survived, but there were other colleagues of their team members, right, that have died. Now they began to eat the frozen and dead bodies of their colleagues. And by that, they were able to live that extreme condition for 72 days. Now, during one of our mindset education training camp, we had invited one of the survivors. And one of that survivors, his name was Antonio Vizintin. Antonio Vizintin, we asked him after his lecture, after surviving the 72 days of extreme conditions, how were you able to cope with the difficulties you faced in the society? So we asked the survivor, he came to our mindset training camp, and then he gave us a lecture, how they were able to go through it and survive that extreme condition. And then we asked, after surviving the 72 days of extreme conditions, how were you able to cope with the difficulties you have faced in the society? Now, after they returned to the society, how was those difficulties that happened in your life? And then he answered us like this. He said, anything that I have faced from the society was no longer a difficulties. Now, the difficulties that they have gone through in the Andes mountain for 72 days was such an extreme difficulties and suffering. So now, after have gone through those kind of difficulties, when they came and returned to the society, they realized there are no difficulties and there are no sufferings in the society. Why? Because the suffering that they have gone through in the top of the Andes mountain was so extreme and the difficulties, and that when they returned to the society, the difficulties that they have faced in the society was no longer a difficulties. Everyone, you understand what I'm talking about, right? Everyone, when you face a big burdens in your life, and if you do not avoid those kind of difficulties that you face in your society, yes, not only for you, also me, I have big difficulties. I have a big financial problems too. I also have a big burdens also come in my life. I also face many sad situations as well. But instead of having the mindset to only avoid those difficulties and sufferings, everyone, now as you start your new classes in Kisii University, now because of your classes, your assignments, your school fees, and many other things in your life, I believe that you are going to face many difficulties and problems. But instead of thinking that these difficulties and the problems are bad and it's only a burden, everyone, why don't you change your mindset to think and to believe that, if I go and collide these difficulties and the burden, my heart is going to be made strong. And I am going to be a person who is having a strong mindset. And therefore, I am also going to become a successful person with a strong mindset. Everyone, who become a successful person? Not those people who are only having a lot of money. Yes, money is important, but the money itself is not what is going to make you a successful person. You need to have the right mindset. You need to have the correct mindset. In the end, you need to have the strong mindset. When you have the strong mindset, whichever difficulties and the sufferings that you might face, and from now on in school and also in the society, you are more than able to overcome those difficulties and sufferings that are coming into your life. Everyone, when you have this kind of strong mindset, truly you can be the great leader of this nation, great leader of this world, and you are going to become a successful person. What defines and makes you a successful person is not about money. It's about what kind of mindset do you possess. Do you have a strong mindset? Then as you live your school life in Kisii University, though you will face a burden, still you will become a successful person. We asked that survivor one more question. What are the 16 survivors doing now? Everyone, they were just rugby players in the university. They were just rugby players in the university. But now, after having gone through that extreme difficulties and suffering on the Andes Mountain, these 16 survivors, we asked them, what are these 16 survivors doing now? And they answer like this. We are all now in important positions in different fields. Some of us, we were presidential candidate. Some of us, we are doctors. Some of us, we are the MC at the broadcasting station, so forth. Everyone, all these 16 survivors, they are now in the very important positions in the society, and all 16 of them, they have become the successful people. How? Because their mindset was strong. Money itself is not what is going to make you a successful person. Even your mind, your heart, the way you see the problems, the way you see the challenges with your eyes is also very important. Everyone, are you going to have a weak mind? Are you going to have a strong mind? It is all decided upon. Are you going to overcome the difficulties and the suffering? Or are you going to live just avoiding the burdens and difficulties in life? It's not only you, everybody in the world, wherever they are in the world, all of them, they have one way or the other, have difficulties and a burden in their life. However, starting from today, if you start your semester with a mindset to overcome whatever burdens and difficulties that I may face in this semester, everyone, why don't you live with that mind? Your mind and your heart is going to become stronger and stronger and stronger. And all of you will also have a successful life in your life as well. So everyone, you are going to face difficulties. I know. You are going to face burdens. I know. But don't avoid it. Don't try to only run away with it. Go and collide it. Have the mindset to overcome those sufferings and difficulties. Challenge those difficulties and burdens. As you continuously live that life, your heart and your mindset will also going to become stronger and stronger and stronger. And when you now, after graduating from the Kisii University and come to the society, now you will also become the successful people with a strong mindset. Asante ni sana. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you again and again. We are also trying to organize mindset training camp in Kisii University on online. On online, when you hear those announcements, I hope all of you can also join us over Zoom, and so that you can continue to receive the mindset training. And when you receive this mindset training, I believe that all of you will also receive the change of the mindset, and your lives will also change from your mind and your heart. Thank you very much, and I'll end here and back to the MC. And thank you so much for this great opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Johan. You are always a rich blessing to listen to. It's always inspiring. It's always encouraging. It's always transformative how you put these things. They are real in our life. And sometimes we ignore them. Sometimes we avoid them. Sometimes we run away as a method or a way of staying strong. But in the quest of staying strong, we end up frustrating even the life that we need to live, which is much richer. We appreciate you sincerely, and we believe. Yes, somebody is signaling me that we have not clapped, so please let's give a hearty clap to Pastor Johan. Wale wa system, tutumie system, those kwa mkono, watumie mkono. Thank you very much.
There is also so much claps in the chats, if you can just check that. So many claps in the chat.
Yes, thank you very much. So, Pastor, we realize that a lot are interested not only in this lecture, and as you have said, yes, we are already working with the team, and we hope to do more of this going forward so that most can be influenced. As you know, during the COVID-19, we had a lot of interferences, but now we can do a little more. Thank you, thank you. Yes, you
Thank
want
you
to
very
say
much.
something?
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome very much. And I don't know if Henry was in the chat, but I know quite a number of people who are there with you. To our students, please remember that besides this mindset training, we have an arrangement with IYF for what we call culture camps. So we could be having or hosting a culture camp sometime in the year, opportunities for you to interact, meet, share, and grow together towards an open mindset that transforms your life, the leadership you take, and the service you offer to yourself and to the community around you. We are so grateful, and we also have through them, we have some partnership with GBS Radio and TV. So next time, you never know where you end. So we are so grateful for this partnership. Now, we have one more session, and I am trying to confirm whether we have all those guys who are supposed to be here, but even if they are not, we will just give you some guidance, and then we will proceed. Yes, Edgar, just take that up as I check something. Thank you very much for that small preclude as we look at the last patch of this. And basically, what we are going to look at is, as we said, that clubs and associations are a very important component of who we are as students in Kisii University, considering that these clubs really give sense to our presence in the university and everything that happens. As we said, this year is that the student chair has spoken to us, and as he said, the others have been quite engaged. I know the Secretary General popped in, and I've just been running through. I have not seen him. I think maybe again he dropped out. The chairman spoke to you about the mandate and objectives of the student government. That is what you find in the student handbook, because this is what is set out in the university charter. So the Student Association is a statutory body. It is taken care of by the university charter. It's also part and parcel of the university statutes. So it is important for you to know, especially look at that first point there. Any student registered in Kisii University becomes an automatic member of the Kisii University Student Association. You become automatic, but then there is fee that you have to pay, and that is prescribed as of now is 400 shillings. but that is taken care of in your fee. If you look at your fee breakdowns, it is already paid, taken care of from that side, so that you are able to become members and enjoy certain privileges and rights that work together for the benefit of the student interests. Remember that, as I've said again, this is established in accordance with regulations that govern the university establishment, and therefore cannot be dissolved. The student union cannot just be, association cannot just be dissolved by the whim of a person. It is a process that must be brought together through the resolution of Senate and Council for it to be dissolved. So you have a very powerful agency that will support your interests, that will value what you stand for. And lastly, the student association always governs itself not by university policies only, but through a constitution. As a student body, there is a constitution that governs how you live and how you guide and how you do your things. And that constitution has set out leaders as per the requirements of the Universities Act. For the 2019-2020, normally these elections happen in November for 1 year, but we have had a lot of challenges, so the Student Association will be discussing what to do. The chairperson who spoke to you is Kenneth Chemase. The vice chair is Lavenda Otipo. There is a very serious gender parity in the student leadership of Kisii University, so that we are not going to be asked or advised by the CJ to nullify the student government. The Secretary General is Charles Okoth, but he is commonly known as VC. Charles Okoth is already in nearly every of the WhatsApp groups that you are a member of, because he's the spokesperson, he's the voice of the student government, he's the voice of the students of Kisii University. The academic secretary is a lady by the name Lydia Nasimiu. Lydia Nasimiu also is already in a few of those groups, but soon, in fact, after this, they will be free to join all the groups, those who have not joined, and especially the academic reps from the schools. The financial secretary is Purity Mothoni. Purity Mothoni, Lydia Nasimiu is in SAS, Purity Mothoni is in Sobe, Charles Okoth is in SPAS, Lavenda Odipo is in education, Kenneth Chemase is in SAS, as he has already told you. Then sports, culture, and entertainment secretary, that is the man who coordinates all the sporting activities, the cultural weeks and related culture experiences, and the entertainment. Somebody was asking, will we have a Freshers Night online? Yes, it seems we will have it online. Tutapanga tu vile tutaifanya vizuri sana online. In fact, itakuwa tamu sana online. Is Laban Mashalia. Laban Mashalia is, I think, in SPAS as well. Then we have special needs secretary. This is the person who looks at those areas that are very particular, areas where we might feel that there is minority. Her name is Liz Kadhambi. Liz Kadhambi. Now, if you see, that is actually also the face of Kenya. Now, after the people that I've said here are called the Student Council. The Student Council, there are 7 if you can have a look at that. And then we have the House of Congress. The House of Congress are a school or academic representatives from the various schools. And the House of Congress is like a parliament, so it's headed by a speaker. Alan Ochieng is from SPAS. The School of Law is represented by Teddy Joseph. Teddy Joseph plays guitar. I know that the law students have already engaged with Teddy Joseph. School of Education represented by Amos Orina, a great sportsman. School of Arts and Social Sciences by Kevin Otieno. Kevin Otieno is a wonderful man, very political and public in all his workings. School of Health by John Ngware. John Ngware. School of Pure and Applied Sciences by David Wamuyu. School of Information Science by Faith Chepkogei. She was celebrating her birthday, I think, 2 days ago. School of Agriculture by Julius Ochieng. School of Business and Economics by Dennis Mowira. Now, those are the ones from the main campus. But we also have campuses from not within Kisii. We have Nairobi campus, which where we have Fiona Chill. Fiona Chill is the former second runners-up Miss Kisii University, Fiona Chill. and working together with Shem Kinge. In Kericho campus, this gentleman, I saw him in the Zoom call, but then he disappeared after a while, is Nicholas Kirui and Gladys Chepkemoi. They are working together to ensure that the interests of students in Kericho campus are well articulated. In Eldoret campus, we have Edwin Nyarangi working with Magdalene Cherop. Magdalene Cherop, these are education guys, I believe, from Eldoret. In Migori campus, we have Ronald Otieno and Beatrice Awol. Beatrice was in the Zoom call, but I've just screened and I can't see her again. Ronald Otieno and Beatrice Awol. Then Kapenguria campus, we have Anthony Biwot and Leah Ewoy. Leah Ewoy. So basically, KSUSA, or Kisii University Student Association, that is the short form, Kisii University, KSU, and the Student Association, KSUSA, is here to serve you. So whatever interest, whatever queries you have, these reps will be in your schools. You will begin to engage with them fully. But again, as the chair said, when you resume here formally, we pray it happens soon, you will be able to interact even at a closer level. Now, the next part is student organizations, and this is what we call the clubs and societies. Now, if any of the clubs and society leaders are in the Zoom call right now, I saw some at the beginning, but I think a few have dropped out, maybe bundles or other assignments. If you are in there, please raise up your hand in Zoom. Use the icon of raising your hand in Zoom, and Edgar will be able to identify you so that we can ask you just to say hello to the students. Now, basically, the student associations are here to give you a platform for interaction, networking, and mentorship. It is through the student clubs, societies, and associations that we are able to monitor and bring you to a level whereby you are supported holistically. And Kisii University has quite a number of these clubs and societies with very deliberate interest of the students. We have classified ourselves. Yes, I've seen the finances here. We have classified ourselves into different cohorts for the purposes of ensuring that we do not lose out, or we do not leave anyone behind. Now, the first one, and at this level, I hope those of you who are from those groups, at least the chairpersons, if you are in, you can show Edgar so that you can say a word. We have,
yes, brother. I think I have the CU chairperson, Kuksa Finance Controller. They are ready to go.
Okay, Kuksa,
and
okay.
And SDA, Devon from SDA as well. The three are ready.
Okay. So I will be allowing the religious cohort. We have Christian Union, we have SDA, that is Seventh-day Adventist Students Association. We have CA, Catholic Students Association. We have MSA, Muslim Students Association, and we have Repentance and Holiness Ministry. So since the chair CU is here, I would wish to request him just to say hello to the members, and then later, I will be sharing contacts how you will be reaching these movements to register yourselves. So Chairman CU, please, if you can hear me, take up and say hello to the students and maybe a word or two.
Yes. Hello, hope you getting me, brother.
Yes, I am, thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Johnson Kimanzi, that's you chairperson. And I'm glad, I'm happy to be found in this platform, and I wish to welcome our first years to this 2020 academic year. And I trust God that this was the school of your choice, and you're also happy to be found in Kisii. And as a chairman of Christian Union, we have different activities that we do perform that caters for your spiritual nourishment. That is basically issues of faith. And we wish to welcome each and everyone. It doesn't matter the kind of denomination you are from, but at least a believer we are focused on nourishing our faith as Christians. And we wish that we are going to join Christian Union so that at least our morals can be upheld well by the help of God. So we have different activities and ministries that help us even to improve in our talents and even be innovating in the way we do our things. So us is to welcome us to the university and feel free, because the university has allowed us to have freedom of worship, whereby you are free to worship God and learn more from the Bible, from whichever faith you are from. So we shall be sending us the link that we are going to use to join the CU group, and that will help us to know the number that we are going to have. So mine is to welcome you on behalf of other leaders of Christian Union, that feel free, and may God bless you and do you good as you've chosen to be part of us, the Kisii University Christian Union, and even the entire fraternity. May God bless you and do you good, enjoy your stay. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. That is the chairman, Christian Union. I would also request the leader from Kisii University Seventh-day Adventist Students Association, please, Devon, if you can also say hello to the students. And as I said, the students, I'm going to share with you in the WhatsApp groups links with all these where you can send them. Hello?
Yes, Devon is ready to go.
Yes, Devon, please proceed.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, brother.
Good afternoon.
I would also like to take just a short minute of sharing. And I am Devon Owino, a member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church within the Kisii campus. That's main campus. And just as my colleague from the CU has said, I would like to invite all members who have joined. Thank you for joining the campus. I know we give perspective when you're coming from home, of which but I want to tell you that this is another place where we can develop morally and even bring a change into the society, which we have so far experienced a lot in UK. So we also have different programs, and we'll share after giving the link, share how we always run our programs. And I pray that maybe at one time we'll meet physically and then get to interact. But even before that, we'll stay tuned as we worship God together. And may God bless us all. The link will be there. And some of our leaders are also within. We'll get to interact with them in the different WhatsApp platforms. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. Those are the ones that I see from the religious groups that I mentioned already. But remember, I will be sharing the links for all these groups so that you can join them. If you belong to the Muslim faith, there is a group for the Muslims. There is a group for the Catholics. There is a group for Repentance and Holiness Ministry. And then, of course, the two who have already spoken to us. And as the chaplain told you on Monday, please ensure that you belong to one of these groups, because your faith and spiritual nourishment is as key as your academic achievement. If you lose back your faith and morals, your academic achievement is of no value. The second group that we have is what we call the professional cohort. And the professional cohort is basically meant to enhance and promote your career dreams. This is the cohort where we have clubs that mirror specific educational programs or externally available career pathways. In this category, we have clubs that have been formed. For instance, for students who are in education, we have what we call KUSTA. KUSTA is Kisii University Student Teacher Association. We have, for those who are in arts and social sciences, we have Criminology Students Association. We have Psychologist Students Association. We have there are quite a number. If you go to SPAS, you have PALSA, which is complete. If you go to law, we have Law Students Association, Students of Kisii. How is it said? Law Students Association. Yes, that is how it is. If you go to agriculture, we have quite a number, animal science and the rest. If you go to CIST, we have computer science, and we have also information, media to be precise, media. So as I said, all these are available from your diverse schools, but we have also other professional clubs that are not necessarily that. For instance, we have what we call the Kisii University Accounting Students Association. Basically, it connects the students with the professional accounting bodies like CASNEB, ACCA, and the rest. We also have Actuarial Students Association. As much as it is there, it connects you with the actuarial industry. We have a Marketing Students Association, and I am actually seeing one leader because I haven't seen many from the professional cohort. I see the financial controller for KUKSA. I will allow her to say a word to our new student.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Assistant Dean of Students, Commander Edgar, and fellow leaders and comrades. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. I'm here to represent my county, Kakamega, Kisii University Kakamega Students Association. I have apologies from my chair and her vice. They have gone to represent us in a burial of one of the parents of one of the students. I appreciate so much for this association, but this association mostly, they help us to interact. They help us to build one another, and it also helps us to help in sectors like fees, like to let the students know if the bursaries and county helps are on. So it helps our students to, we move together as one in financial constraints. And I would like to advise fellow comrades, those who are joining, that it's better to work together in the associations, those county association and all the clubs that are in the university, so that in case that we move together, so that in case of anything, you'll get help, you'll get advice, and we'll move on together well. With the Kakamega, Kisii University Kakamega Students Association, we have activities that runs throughout the semester. We have hikes, we have the community helps. We go around and help 1, 2, 3 things that the CSR, and then we have the those are the mentorship and recollections that we have. We discuss our issues, and through that, the Dean of Students will get to understand what's going on within the university, and in case of any problem, we'll get helped. I think with time, we will interact more and see way forward how we'll help each other. Thank you.
Thank you, KUKSA representative, our finance controller for KUKSA. As the assistant dean said, we have quite a number of groups and different cohorts, like you've seen. So that falls under the county cohort, where from wherever you're coming from, I know most of you are coming from different counties around the country. You'll be able to find at least an affiliation that is closer to home. And as brother said, during Cultural Week, for example, you'll be able to showcase your culture emanating from that county. In Kisii University, we want to demystify the notion of tribalism, and that's why, as we are celebrating culture, we not necessarily go it the tribal way, but we say everybody who comes from Bungoma, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are Luya, whether you are Kikuyu, as long as you come from Bungoma, that is your home, that is your domicile home. And we want to celebrate that. If you come from, say, Muranga County, it doesn't matter if you are an Otieno who stays in Muranga or you are an, a Rotich who stays in Muranga. As long as you come from there, you are able to affiliate and find yourself a home away from home in Kisii University. So thank you. I think the course of these conversations, the Secretary General of the Students' Union came in as well. That is the person who brother was introducing and saying he's already in quite a number of your groups, WhatsApp groups. He's been listening carefully to what you are saying and looking at your engagements, etc. He is the person who represents the Students' Union when going out to do activities, when they want to pass communications. He's the person you'll be mostly communicating with. And at this point, I would just like to, since the chair spoke to you earlier in the morning already, I would just like to take this opportunity to give a chance to the SG, Bwana Charles Okoth, to just say hi and pass some words of wisdom to our first years as we continue. Bwana SG, if you can hear me, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Are you getting me, dear brother?
Yes, we are getting you very clearly. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm joining you from home in Siaya, and I'm very happy that I'm addressing most
Okay, Bwana SG, I think we lost him for a minute. He might be using a little bit of
the counties in Kenya. It's true that the COVID-19 has come with all its negativities, positivities, but to our comrades,
ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna try and see if I can find him again, because he is, I think he's operating from home, and it's a little bit difficult to get him here. But at the moment, as we try sort out his internet, I will take this back to brother. We've had the Kuksa financial controller speak. We were just about to hear the SG speak, but I think his internet is acting out a bit. So I'm going to hand it back to you to continue with the program. If you can hear me, brother.
Thank you, Edgar. I think as we are waiting for the SJ to see if we can reconnect back, I also see the Congressman Agriculture, Julius Ochieng, I think is around here. Julius, are you in any position to say hello to the students?
I see him. Yes, he's
so much, brother. I hope you hear me well.
Yes.
Okay, new comrades. You are talking to, I'm Julius Ochieng, the Congressperson School of Agriculture. First, I want to congratulate and applaud you for the good work that you did while in high school. Now you have a chance to sign a new contract of pursuing a degree in Kisii University. What I want to urge you, keep on achieving your goal in academic. It is not over. University has different challenges and some freedom. Take care of yourself. It's a freedom zone where nobody will follow you. It is upon you to decide what is right for you. Take care of yourself. You can even take care of your private part. Yeah, and enjoy freedoms wisely. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Julius.
Okay, thank you. We shall share more as we will interact physically. For now, there's a link that I have sent to you for those one who will belong to School of Agriculture. You will get that link where you can have an option to join, can share the ideas there and move on with our objectives of at this university. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julius. That is your leader from the School of Agriculture. For those who are in agriculture, you have at least seen him. I realize Dixon is already telling us we need to be eating. Langat, wakati unakura unatugawia bana. You are unakura mingi na sisi tuko njaa. Yes, so I know that we were just speaking about those cohorts when I was rudely interrupted. And so I know when I came back, I had Edgar speak, and I know he has already mentioned to you about the county cohort. And I had done the professional. So we have 3 more. The other cohort is called Edu Service. These are clubs and associations that are basically aimed at enhancing your volunteer skills and your engagement with the community. Remember that today you cannot get a job in any place without them checking what was your contribution to the community, what is your volunteer spirit. So currently in Kisii, under Edu Service, we have the Scouts Association, Kisii University Flamingo Rovers, and as you heard from the chair, they are actually the reigning, the best scout unit in Africa. The best scout unit in Africa. So you could do wood to join there, but discipline is of great expectation upon you and service to humanity. Those of you who have been in any scouting activity, for sure, Kisii University Flamingo Rovers is a name that nobody has stopped saying. We also have St. John Ambulance. St. John Ambulance specifically prepares you in proper training on first aid, certifies you to be a trained first aider, and then gives you an opportunity to volunteer in helping the community. Those of you who are coming in for medical and nursing, medicine, nursing, and clinical medicine, you are required to do what we call an emergency technician course. And part of that is a serious requirement of certification for first aid. So again, this is an important group you can join. Under Edu Service, we are also very soon, we already have underway what we call the Kenya Red Cross, but it's going to be called Kisii University Students Red Cross Association. So those of you who are again in secondary in such arrangements, you have an opportunity to be there. Then we have what we call the edutainment. Edutainment basically is an association where we celebrate and promote your talent. We give you space to be able, if you are good at dancing, you dance crews. If you are good at singing, you sing. If you are good at drama, you dramatize. So under this, we have the Kisii University Drama Club. We also have the art and poetry. The art and poetry, we are currently doing a lot of shows in the streets. We call them street poetry and raps and spoken word and the narratives. That's all under art and poetry. Then we have Kisii University Salsa. For those who enjoy dancing salsa or dancing Zumba or Kizomba or all those kind of things, that is the place where you would join so that you are able to go places and dance routines. But if you want to do contemporary dance, hizi vitu za kurukaruka kifanifani, Wasafi Records, we will allow you to join the dance crews that are available in Kisii University. And lastly, in our cohorts, we have what we call the mentorship cohort. And the mentorship cohort, this is a group where basically you are being nurtured towards a certain skill that you want, which is not necessarily the professional training you are undertaking. You heard the chairman mention about tax society, Kisii University Tax Society. This is it cuts across people who come from any place, any field, from education, from whatever, but they want to understand matters taxation and how that can help them and how they can help the community on that. We also have those guys. Basically, we have two groups here. Some of you got sponsorships under Equity, and some of you got under Barclays Bank. So we have two groups there called the Equity Scholars as well as the Barclays or APSA. Today it's called APSA Scholars Group. So these ones, you get speakers to come and talk to you on areas of growth around financial management, around innovation and creativity and related things. Then we also have the Kisii University Peace Movement. And basically this is aimed at enhancing your ability to become better in promotion and creation of peace within the situations we live in. So all these clubs and societies are meant to help us network, interact, and also gain further connections that will help us as we go forward. So as I said again, once more, I will put links to these groups so that whichever you choose to join, you join that group, and your leaders will be there to guide you, to tell you what you need to do, how you need to register, what meetings will be required for you. But I can tell you beforehand, if you join scouting, yeah, there is going to be a very rigorous training. In fact, as you heard before I went off, there was a very huge sound. That is the presidential flights going over here. We are hosting the Masucha Day in Kisii, and the scouts are going to be part and parcel of leading that procession at that celebration. Hopefully you will be in Kisii so that you can join in that celebration and enjoy everything. Since I'm not seeing any new leader that I need to introduce, I need to stop here and see if there are any quick concerns before I give the final communication how we are going forward. Edgar, if you have anything to say or you see anything that we need to comment about, we can do that before we give the final communication.
Yes, bro. Not much. I've been scanning through the WhatsApp, the chats on both Zoom and YouTube, and there's not much that needs specific attention, except of course still concerns on inter-school and inter-course transfers. I think it might benefit those who want to do that for us to organize a separate session on that at some point between now and the end of the week. So that they can get specific guidance on how this is going to happen. But just initially, I would just like to say that how you transfer course to another course, the process, those who would like to defer to another semester, etc., all that is going to be given at the end of this week. So when we are completing, I know brother will share with us how we will be completing this week. At the end of that completion of this orientation process, we will be able to, guide you on what to do next, because at the end of the orientation signals the beginning of other processes that take over from where we will have left. So just be patient, those of you who want to do inter-school transfer, and at that particular moment we'll be able to hook you up with another session if needed, just the process. For those who are decisive about what they want to do and they would like some guidance, we'll also give you people to be able to guide you specifically regarding to your course in that forum. So just be patient for those who want to specifically want that, because that I think is one of the only major reasons. And then other major concern that I saw is about e-learning. The director e-learning gave out a number of things and then guided you on how to be able to get there. Log into the learning management system with your accounts. He has already told you that your accounts are already set up. Yes, they are. You can go and attempt logging in. I'm sure we'll get in touch with him in the course of the day today for us to get some sort of instruction. He gave the instructions verbally, but we'll be able to give you that instructions in your WhatsApp groups again, so that you can start logging in and playing around, just familiarizing yourself with the internal environment in the learning management system. You see what it looks like, playing around with the features a little bit so that you can acclimatize yourself with the e-learning management system inside there. So other than that, I think the rest is more of procedural and just common concerns. Where will we watch football in the student mess? We have a place where you can watch football in game matches. Where will we do our sports? Of course, in the virtual orientation tour, we showed you the university and some of those things. We'll repeat that again on Friday, just probably before the Vice Chancellor speaks to you. And as we wrap up this, I think that's it, brother. There's nothing much. After you finish, we'll end up with one more video and close the session. Yeah.
Thank you, my brother. Very quick ones to do the inter-school transfer, please. Again, just wait until you are told formally that now do. But as you realized, it's just a letter you are going to do to the dean of the school you're going to. I remind you again, you want to change a course and you have consulted and you feel sufficiently assured, you can kindly go to your CUSP's portal, confirm that you qualify so that you don't apply and then it's rejected. It really becomes appalling. The WhatsApp links, some of you are still saying you are not in a WhatsApp link, you are not in a WhatsApp group, sorry. Kindly, if you are not in any, you can, for now, we can say, do an inbox message to either Edgar or myself. We will be able to help you connect. If we realize that that particular school, the groups are so full, we can be able to create more so that you are able to all get there, because it's important that you get somewhere where you get communication. But remember, every communication we put in WhatsApp, we also put in your emails. So if you go to your email, you will get everything that we have put in WhatsApp. It's already there. And as scholars, yes.
Just an interjection on that, even before they reach us, if you're not in WhatsApp group, in any WhatsApp group and you're listening to us, you can kindly go to your university email, log in. Around July, mid-July, we sent an email to all of you in that email with the links of your school. I know the only ones that will have challenges in these are the School of Arts and Social Sciences students, because for those ones, those links are full, and I revoked them after they became full. But any other faculty, starting from health, we go to law, we go to School of Business, we go to School of Pew and Apply, all those links are still active. School of Information Science and Technology, all those links are still active. You can just click.
Okay, thank you. So you can actually go there and find those, and let's proceed. Now, some people are reaching out on the issue of clearing fees, registering and things like that. Please do as we guided you. I remember I said very clearly, do what you can first, and then let's talk about the other issues. As I said, fees is a very personal issue. We cannot discuss that holistically, like publicly. So if you have a personal issue on fees, you reach out personally and we talk about that. But for now, do what you are advised to do. If you are a transfer student, those of you who transferred from other universities, and you are about 316, that is a big number. And maybe we have not fully finalized your details on both the self-care or the learning management system. Now, what that means is that if you are not able to log into the LMS or to the self-care, that means that there might be a situation that your index has not been fully integrated with our system. The only thing you just need to do is send your index number, course, and your name to that email, ictsupport@kisii.ac.ke. It will be acted, you will be fixed, and everything will be smooth and forward moving. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate that you have been patient, that you have been here, and yes, you are going to have fun, and I want you to have more fun, but fun with responsibility so that you can enjoy your success story. Pass our regards to your family, to your siblings, and continue enjoying everything. We are not going to have a session tomorrow. Tomorrow is break. You can engage yourselves, you can talk to each other. Tomorrow, use it to reach out to each other through the LMS. That is the e-learning portal, as you were told. Go there and put your passport photos, write a profile for yourself. Just do all those kind of things you can do. correct any data that you are missing, help loan filling if you have a challenge, deal with that, deal with any other thing that is remaining. We will meet here on Friday. We will do the same thing because the Vice Chancellor, unlike some of us can come and wait. The Vice Chancellor can't come and wait and just is looking at pictures and we are just laughing. He will join the chat at exactly 10 for his address. So we need to have done the background before he comes in. So we want you to be here by 9:30 so that we can do any cross checks if there are any things that you are missing, so that by 10 exactly, when he begins his address to you, it will be, as I said, 30 minutes, 40 minutes max, and then we will conclude. That day will give you maybe 2-3 of you a chance to say something of your experience and what you think about Kisii University. And then we will conclude with the orientation, and we will formally now begin the process of academics and the changing of course. Now, for those who are following us on YouTube Live, on Facebook or Twitter, please, this site is not yet totally full. You still can be added here. You still can be added here. You still can log in using the Zoom call details, because under the Zoom call details, you can be able to even talk audibly so that we hear and see you. But when you are on Facebook Live, we may not see you. When you are on YouTube, yes, we will see you, but you cannot engage with us except through chats. Wish you all the best. And at this time, I will allow my brother to just play a small clip for us. And, or we should pray before we play that. I think we should pray, then we can play that. This morning, somebody prayed for us, and it was a gentleman, so we'll use a lady, and I'm looking, Peace Nabukili. Peace Nabukili, your name is Peace, so if you prayed for us, we'll have peace in our hearts and everything. So Peace Tafadhali, yes, you are ready to go. Kindly lead us in a prayer.
Let's pray. Let's pray. We thank you, God, for your grace and mercy this day. We thank you for the gift of life and glory. Father, we thank you for the meeting we have had, oh God. And as we even disperse, oh God, let us disperse with your grace and mercies, oh God. And please be with us and protect us, oh God. And for the rest of the meeting that we'll be having tomorrow, oh God, Father, may you enable us to listen and understand each and everything will be told. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. After watching, you are free to exit, but look at those links that have already been shared, especially SDACU group, to ensure that you all get a chance to register. Thank you very much. Bye. When you choose to go, go in peace. Love you.
Hey, goodbye, guys. See you around on Friday at 9:30.